So today we want to spend some time looking at a smart, connected, and transformative tool, which is Discover Research. And hopefully you have your own tools here. Does everybody have their phone with them? Can we answer this little poll thing, please? Let's see how people are doing. Okay, I see head shaking like, nope, never seen this before. All right. That's one person. Great. Anybody else? All right. Yay for the yeses. No yeses? One? Come on. Somebody must have heard about discoveries. Oh, okay. Thank you. All right. So I'm so sorry. So sorry. Okay, so this is going to be really interesting because we're going to learn so much about this tool, which is so useful and innovative, and I think one of the best tools that U of T has to offer, especially for faculty. All right, so thank you so much for your responses. And to the person who has never heard of Discover Research, today is your day. All right. So we're going to walk through today the 6 W's of Discover Research: what, when, why, where, who, and how. And then, thanks to Mustafa, we're going to do a demo where we're going to create his Discover Research profile. So thank you very much. So what is Discover Research? Discover Research is the place to find U of T experts. It is basically a Google search meets LinkedIn. So it basically captures research, teaching, your scholarly works, your publications, your grants, your awards, etc., in one nice, concise place, and allows you to be found by the internet, basically. So because Discover Research is very new, when you search for a researcher in Google who has a public profile, Discover Research comes to the top. You know, Google likes new and fascinating things. So this started in 2023, so it bubbles to the top. So you will find Discover Research as one of the first things. Yes, you have a question. Go ahead.
I'm just wondering if Discover Research is applicable for all the universities and UFT is just one part of it, for example, Reddit and then there are subreddits.
Okay, so the database behind Discover Research, which I'll get to in a minute, is called Elements, and it is produced by a company called Symplectic, a third-party data provider, and it has been used across the US, UK, and Canada. So there are several other universities that have a Discover Research. For example, the school up the road. Is it York? York has a Discover York or something like that. I don't know what it's called. McGill, I think, has one. McGill is the red and white school. Anyway, sorry. I'm so sorry. We're the blue school. So they have, because I remember because their Discover Research is red and white. And ours is, of course, blue. Because, of course. Anywho, so yeah. There are other people who use Symplectic and have created something like Discover Research for their university, and several across the US. Symplectic is UK based, so of course the UK has very many. When you're through, you can actually Google it to see how many schools there are. All right, so Discover Research aims to help anyone who is looking for a UFT expert. So whether it is the media or prospective grad students who want a supervisor, or people who want to collaborate amongst UFT staff or faculty. A critical need was identified to better leverage our data systems to more easily find specific expertise. So while the faculty and the staff are kind of separated right now, this is an easy way for you to find faculty in a specific area. The product was launched in 2023, And at that time, we had thousands, hundreds of UFT students who were curating profiles for the researchers. So even though you may not have heard about Discover Research, you actually may have a profile already set, and all you will need to do is review it, ensure that it's up to date, and make it public. But we'll get into that in a few minutes. All right. Why did we want something like Discover Research? There are several reasons why Discover Research is transformative for UFT. So first of all, it's a one-stop shop. It will increase the potential for our scholars or research experts to be found and showcased. Two, it's technology. Right? Let's try that again. Great. All right. So second thing is that there's a dual functionality of data feeds bringing in fresh content every day. So if it is that you have published a new scholarly work, every night it updates. Once you have the correct ORCID IDs and various IDs listed, every night it updates. Number three, it also significantly reduces the administrative burden for departments and faculty because of the automated nature of it. Number four, unparalleled data integration that has not existed before at UFT, with comprehensive data cleanup that can be leveraged for other institutional projects. So it's a lot more than just a nice shiny profile. You can actually use the data. And there's a whole section of elements, which is the background database, that you can actually do reporting from. So it's not just a cute profile. We can actually use this data for other reasons. All right. So we've been talking about two different systems, basically. We've been talking about elements, which is the background, and we've been talking about Discover Research. And of course, I'll show you both of them. So the public-facing Discover Research is based on the back end, which is Elements, which is powered by this third-party provider called Symplectic. Elements is the database beneath Discover Research. In Elements at this time, there are over 5,000 curated profiles that are just sitting there, and we use it for data purposes at this time, but they're not public. And we can use them for both individual reporting or group reporting. So we can look at faculty data or unit data, etc. Discover Research, on the other hand, is the public-facing part. And this is where faculty can opt to have a public profile. This is Google discoverable, and there are currently about 2,500 public profiles. I'm going to use, as an example, the head of VPRI, Barbara Fallon. She has given us permission to always use her profile in trainings. So we'll look at her profile in a minute. So who is included in, who can have a Discover Research profile? All active UFT researchers whose role qualifies them to participate in research can appear publicly on Discover Research. So those are tenure stream folks, teaching stream, emeritus faculty, clinical faculty. There are specifications around this, and I have actually created a link here to our frequently asked questions about who is included. It's a lot more detailed than just the four things I've listed there. When you have some time, go to our community site and look through who is able to have a Discover Research profile. Another point, if you have anything missing in your HR feed, so like an email address, if you have a duplicate email address, if your UTOR ID is not there, this is in HR because our system is linked to Human Resources Information System and Research Information System. So if there's something missing from HR, you probably will not show up in Discover Research. So if you have any of those things that are missing, you can reach out to your business officer who will make the edits in HR, and then you will be able to have a Discover Research profile. Okay. Once the changes are made in HR, this is not a it is a daily feed, but HR takes, we cannot guarantee a daily refresh on that one. But within 3 to 4 days, your profile should be good. HR has a life of their own. We cannot guarantee the 1 day, so 3 to 4 days. All right. Okay. So the point of Discover Research is discovery. That's the point. And if you notice this collaborative diagram, Barbara Fallon is the person that we're looking at. So she's in the middle here, right? And these are all the persons who have collaborated with her on scholarly works and publications. In Discover Research, it creates this wonderful world for, okay, is there a timer on this thing? That's what we're talking about. All right. So it creates a wonderful world for integration and collaboration between faculty, both here and outside the university. So some of these people in this diagram may actually be outside of UFT, but she has done work with them. And you can include their information on here as well. So with this, media can easily find experts, industry partners can find their researchers, and the public can find UFT faculty. Remember that UFT has many layers, and our faculty system is not cut and dry. There are people who cross faculties and so on, have cross appointments. And it's easy for you to just type in a name rather than have to think about the cross appointments and so on. It's a very easy system to use. UFT is big, and faculty within UFT are able to find potential collaborators that they didn't even know existed just based on their areas of interest. All right. Okay, so we spoke about an automated feed that updates every night, right? One of those sections is scholarly and creative works. So there's a plethora of external sources for publications and citations. And we've harvested those data. And as we have said, it updates every night. If it is, though, that you are unable to find a specific publication on your Discover Research profile, you can actually manually enter it. There are many sources that we get information from that are not usual. So, for example, one of the sources is the Modern Languages. Is there a timer? The Modern Language Association. This database is for literature, and it is very different from something like Web of Science, which is obviously science-based, or PubMed. So, Discover Research has actually enabled us to meet the requirements of social sciences, humanities, community engaged research working groups to capture metrics for scholarly works. So it's not only the established sciences, it's things like if you're in architecture and you're doing an exhibition, there's an option for you in here. All right. So if you're creating software, there's also an option. If you're an artist and you're doing a performance, you can actually enter that information here. It's not just paper publications then. There are other things that you can include on your profile. All right. Do you remember last year, was it? When Jeffrey Hinton won his Nobel? Did you know that the Twitter Nobel Prize Twitter account linked our Discover Research profile? We got so many hits that day. What? It was like everybody, because obviously they posted it on Twitter. So yeah, everybody was hitting that link. So we got a huge boost in visibility for our research. And in our first year, there were over 1.36 million views. Discover Research has a wide reach, and 95% of our tenure stream staff already have a curated profile included. If it is that you have issues with curation of your profile, you can actually have a delegate, another person who has access to your profile, who can edit it for you. There used to be a point where we research analytics had an army of students. We no longer have that. It's just me. So if they have issues with curation, absolutely, I'll answer all the questions. But at this point, we cannot, our team does not offer curation at this point. Okay. So from Discover Research or from the Elements platform, there are several things that you can do to assist with your administrative work. So Discover Research reduces faculty administrative burden and saves time for you to do your CVs, your grants applications, etc. Faculty controls what aspect of the information is displayed in the public interface for their discoverability needs. So there's every section of Elements can be either private or public. So you set what you want to be public. It is all in your control. All right. Of course, we have Barbara Fallon as our example. And when you click on research and scholarly works for her, there is more than, it's not just a listing of all her publications. You actually can get altmetric scores, citations, and so on, PDF versions of her publications for some of them. For this, I'm going to show you in a bit when we actually get there. So if you notice from here, she was blogged once, posted by 65x users. You get information about her publications in detail. All right. You can set a delegate. If you have a student working with you, a research assistant, somebody who can help, if it is that you don't want to do this yourself, because it's a very easy process and you can do it. We know that curating and maintaining a profile can be a lot of work. So if you want to include a delegate, you can, and this person will be able to access your profile and edit as necessary. If you do need help and you need a delegate, meaning if you have somebody who can be a delegate, you can reach out to us at discover.research@utoronto.ca and we can help set up a delegate for you, but you can also do it yourself. You can click on my profile and then you manage delegates. The only problem is students are not included in the listing of people in Discover Research. So if you have a student, you would have to reach out to us first. We'll add him or her, and then they can be included as a delegate. Collaboration. So faculty can seek out collaborators for their projects using Discover Research. And as we can see, there are currently 364, persons, researchers who are available for collaborative projects. When you create your profile, you can actually specify your availability to either provide career advice, collaborative projects, to supervise a master's or PhD student for media inquiries. You could do mentoring or technical support. So you have the option to include on your profile that you're available for these various resources. So if you need, if you want to speak to the media about your specific topic, you can include that on your profile. You can also create and export your CV, so it makes life easier for you. Once all the information is in Discover Research, whether public or private, you can actually click a button Well, usually we're using academic CV. So we click that first button and hit next, and it pops out a nice, wonderful, you can do it in Word, PDF, don't think Excel, Word or PDF version of your CV. Nice and easy. So for the other two, if you need to use the NIH biographical sketch, the last option here is only for the Faculty of Medicine. So if you're not in medicine, please ignore that one. Don't hit that button. Okay.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yes.
So, one of the most painful aspects of, the Tri-Council grant application is the CV, the common CV.
Yep.
Can you do that too?
It can. It really can. So it makes life a lot easier. All right. So we have entered, all the information is in. Very simply, you can change your profile from being internal to being public by just hitting that button. But I think I mentioned this before. You can also have levels of publicity. So let's say, for example, Prof. Fallon has a public profile, but she doesn't want her work number to be public. Understandably, right? She can always change to internal or private. Yes, go ahead.
Just one thing, so when you say public, does it mean that it's open to people outside of your?
Yes.
And
Yes.
internal would be the thing?
Internal would be the persons who are doing administrative reporting work. So internal, nobody outside, only delegates are able to see your profile if it is internal and you. That's it. If you change it to public, the world can discover you. So you type in Mustafa's name and he will pop up on Google. Okay. So now for the fun stuff. Let's go look at the actual Discover Research page. So this is Discover Research. For all the folks who have never seen it before, this is our entryway into all the UFT scholars that have a public profile. So we're not going to search for anybody. We're just going to see the full list of everybody. All right. So these are the 2,551 profiles that are currently public. And there are ways to search this. Of course, I can search by name. And here is Barbara's profile. And this is what would show up on if somebody searched for you in Discover Research. So you have her bio, some YouTube videos of her speaking, I suppose, her academic positions, non-academic positions, her degrees, certification, what she's available. She's available for industry projects, membership in an advisory committee, her ISIs, her affiliated hospitals, her tags. These are her 500 scholarly works. And remember, we're talking about citations and stuff. We can actually just hover over citations and you can see what has been done and her altmetric scores, etc. You can actually download a PDF of her publication if you would like to as well. This is her research interest and all her leadership roles. So to the left is her basic information. So her name, her ORCID ID, her appointment as a professor, her work phone number. So she does have it public. It's just that I can change it if I want to. I'm not going to. Her email address, her location, media. Do you remember that picture of the collaboration network that we had with all the various people? This is where you can find it, collaboration network. And then links to her Faculty of Social Work page. She has a web page which says Make Resilience Matter, all of these, her Google Scholar page, all of these things. All right. This is what will show up if you make your profile public. I wanted to also show you that you can search by various tags. So let's say, for example, I want to find somebody who is in, I don't know, social work. I can actually search for it or go through this list of various topics. So I can search for social work. I can search for all of these options here. These are tags that are created automatically in your profile. So it helps people to find you based on a topic rather than just your name. All right, there's also affiliated institution. Let's say, for example, remember that there are 18 affiliated UFT institutions, all are hospitals, so Sick Kids, Mount Sinai, Baycrest, CAMH, Unity Health, UHN, all of those are included in here if it is that you're looking specifically for a specific hospital or institution. The list is included here. So all the people who are affiliated to Sick Kids will be in this list. Let's just select that and we can see all the various doctors who work or professors who work with the Hospital for Sick Children. Cool, eh? Yes, go ahead, Mustafa.
Can we also narrow down to the campus?
Of course. I started at the bottom and I'm heading up. But yes, faculty and unit is the first option here. So you can actually search by faculty and by unit. So if you're looking, let's look at all the options here. As far as I remember, UTM and yeah, here we go. So Scarborough depends on the department, of course. UTM is here, geography, language studies, they're all here. All right, so you can search by faculty and departments. Do you remember this availability thing? Yes, you can search by persons who want to be in the media or whether they want to collaborate with on a project. And finally, you can search by ISI. So the institutional strategic initiatives are, let me show you the list. 1 second. This was explained to me. ISIs are groupings of faculty who are interested in a specific topic and are working on projects related to that area. So, for example, Precision Medicine Initiative called PRIME, the Institute for Pandemics, that was a really big one. The Black Research Network, Acceleration Consortium. So if you're working with these ISIs, you can also include those tags on your profile and are able to be found in this way. All right, so this is the front end of DiscoverResearch. And let's see if, you know, this is going to tell me it's not going to go through. Guess why? Because I'm not logged in. Okay. All right. So this is symplectic elements. So this is the back end of DiscoverResearch. In here, I can edit, I can put in all the information that I want, and then make my profile public. All right, so let's go to home. And this, of course, is my page, completely empty because generally admin staff do not, oh, let me show you. So I do not have access to have a public profile. So if you notice on the profile privacy, it says internal. It will always be internal. Even if I add information, a picture or whatever, always internal. But for today's session, we are going to recreate Mustafa's profile. Right, and there we go. First things first, let's edit his profile. And I'm going to open his CV. That's behavior. All right. So this is how easy the process is. Wow, it's 1:45. Let me show you quickly how I can edit this profile. Okay. So you're seeing this, and I want to get to here. All right. So at the top, you see all of that information. I'll put in your picture afterwards, Mustafa. Your email address and your position. These are not editable by research analytics. You have to go to HR for them to edit what shows up there because we have no control over that. All right, let's go into edit mode. And we're gonna say, Prof. Mustafa said 2D, sorry, is a professor at UTM. This is just me writing. We're going to edit this and make it better. And his research interests, give me some research interests, Mustafa.
Innovation and people,
All right.
finding studies.
Okay, good stuff. Are you teaching any courses, sir?
Yes.
Okay, give me one.
Writing studies course here.
All right. Writing studies at UTM. Okay. All right. So I've entered 3 things and I'm gonna save. Oh, by the way, I'm going to make this public just for like 5 minutes, but soon. All right. So are you affiliated with any of our 18 hospitals or no? All right. What are you available for, sir? Career advice, students, mentoring.
How do you read the Excel?
Okay. All right, so I'm just going to put in one. That's a career advice, and we're going to add, and it has added it here, and I'm going to save the changes. All right. Okay, that is done. So you notice I'm going to flash back and forth. You notice my name is over to the right, and the person who I'm editing is in the middle. When a delegate comes in, it will show up as them being here and they're editing somebody's profile. So it's forewarn your delegates if you have one to ensure that that is the setup. I have in the past entered all this information on my profile instead of the researcher. Just a warning. All right. Okay. So we're going down to academic appointments, and he is, let me look. Okay, copy and paste. We're being lazy today. Position here, institution name, university. Okay, that don't spell good. And Mississauga. And start dates. Did I see that? Yes, July 2024. By the way, date can be, you can put in day, month, the format is there. Day, month, year. You can put in the actual date, or you can just put in July, well, 2024. And once you see that tick, you're good to go. You can save. All right. And we're going to update. We're only putting in one for now. Do you have any non-academic employments like outside of you? Okay, great, awesome. But this is how you would enter it, basically the same format, and you would save. By the way, another quick tip. Whenever you see these blue things highlighted, please save. Please save. All right, degrees, we're going to add 1 degree.
Some reason it's not updating really quickly.
What do you mean?
Well, if I go press on save and it just stays there.
Are you connected to your, what's it called again? Is it? Oh, thank you. I appreciate your help.
Doesn't get
Okay, we're good.
so let's see.
Oh, this is grayed out. That means it saved something.
There was a pop-up box. And
Oh,
it
there
looked
was.
like the pop, you know, when you save and then the pop box closes automatically. It didn't close automatically.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, good.
But it is.
Okay, we're moving fast. Actually, so the front page is easy peasy. Let me show you something that's harder. So we've saved stuff, fine. Scholarly and creative works. This is a section that gives people a lot of trouble because we want you to first add some IDs. So if you have an ORCID ID, absolutely include it. And the only research analytics cannot do it for you because if I click on here, it's going to ask me for, I probably have your ORCID ID, but I don't have your password and I don't want your password. So you will definitely need to do that part yourself. All right, that's first. Second, you can go in here and do automatic claiming based on how you write your publications. So if I'm doing a publication, I would be saved as K. Hinds, right? You can edit how you're seeing in here. Am I in the right section? Name-based search. I'm so sorry. So yes, this is how we're looking for Mustafa. M. Siddiqui or Mustafa Siddiqui. Some people have a middle name and they probably have that on their publications. You would need to enter that as well. And if, yes,
So I have a unique last name.
Mhm.
I'm the only one with that in science
Sure.
publications. Can I just enter the last name? Would that be allowed?
it would not. Guess why? How do you, when you write your publications in wherever they are, how do you state your name? Is it just last name?
No, it's always last name and first name or first name abbreviation.
Exactly. So exactly how you would on a publication, this is how we want to search for you because wherever you publicize that scholarly work that you've written is how we're going to find you. Also, if you're coming from another university or institution, you can also search for your publications from there. Mustafa only has UFT in here, but if he used to have publications at York University, I may not do the red and white again. York University, you can add that to here and it will pull your former publications from the other university in as well.
Can you actually upload stuff or identify yourself from or via Google Scholar, for example?
You can. Google Scholar is one of our linked search sites. And if you have the correct name setup and university setup, absolutely, we'll bring it in. Also, yes.
Sorry, are these all available in the resources, like the SharePoint resources too? Like as they went through?
Absolutely. We have a community site. I'm going to show you that in a minute.
Back to back.
Oh, I'm in here and I'm at settings and I'm at name-based search and you can add your middle name, etc. to here. You can add your ORCID ID, all of these things. You can configure how we find you every night. All right. Because it's we're moving. Okay. So and we have as well community sites that should be able to help you.
And we'll send this out with the email to follow, so you'll get all of the resources and the contact.
And they're in my presentation as well.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Maybe a good idea to actually approach departments.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't show up and they might be actually.
Yeah, exactly. And we're gonna add it in the newsletter that's going out this week. And then we'll be sharing it in our resources. We have a Discover Research page on our site. But I know that the communications team is already sharing it as well and putting it in there and stuff too, but yeah, it's a good point.
All right. So before I get to the community site, Mustafa, there are actually What are you seeing? Yes, they're actually items pending for you. It's a good idea for if you know you have all of your IDs already set and they're perfect, you can automatically upload straight to your profile, no problem. I generally advise that researchers have them pending and you go in and you check ever so often to see what is pending for you. So let's say, for example, that we have a couple things pending, a lot of things pending. We can go in and accept or reject, claim or reject each of these publications. Any of these look like yours, Mustafa?
No.
No? Okay, there's another Mustafa somewhere, right? You see, you can know as a curator, his area is certainly not pediatric epilepsy. So you can know that I can absolutely reject this publication. Wonderful. You could be, of course, you could be absolutely. Yes. I won't. All right. So back to Mustafa's profile. So we added a few little thingies. We're going to edit and we're going to make this public. And we're going to wait a couple minutes. And we're going to go into Discover Research. And I want to see everybody first. I'm going to take it off public in a minute here because obviously we haven't done the work necessary to have a full profile. All right.
I feel like we owe you a profile.
Look at that. So these are the three things that I entered. But yes. And from here as well, you don't need to go back and forth. Let's say I entered something incorrectly. Are you Mustafa? Edit your profile. You can edit from right here. So it makes life a lot easier for you. All right.
Let's do that. All right. So I'm here to chat about why media relations matters. So a lot of the time you're working with your research and you're like, who even reads this? And that's where we involve media to try to get that research out there within the community. Internally, it builds reputation and visibility. Externally, it provides an opportunity to promote your research and your achievements to support our grants, success and reputation. There's some spin-off benefits, advancement opportunities. Sorry, I just think it's not showing. It's not showing? Oh, I'm so sorry. No worries. Let me apologies, everyone. Just 1 second. I wasn't looking up at the screen, obviously. We may have to do it like this.
You're enjoying the view.
It's a beautiful aerial view of UTM. There we are.
Nice.
Amazing. Thank you. And so, as I was saying, there's some spin-off benefits to this, including advancement goals by sharing your stories and showcasing our impact. And then there's also bolstering active recruitment, so students and faculty. So a lot of the time when we're out there in the media showing all the great work that we're doing, it obviously provides some people to tune into us and elevate our research. And then it also helps to cultivate and strengthen relationships with partners, potential collaborators and supporters. That's where Discover Research kind of comes hand in hand with the tools that we use to get it out in the media. All right, so here are 4 ways that media relations helps in putting the news out there. We've got top stories that goes to your inbox if you're signed up for the subscription. We've got breaking news experts that goes out daily to all of our media that subscribe to it. And then the Blue Book and Discover Research. So the wonderful thing actually about Discover Research is there's a little check box within there that if you select media inquiries, it automatically loads you into the Blue Book. So this is just the interface of the Blue Book, but essentially we send media here to kind of look for an expert that they're going to be speaking to. But it's also for myself, because as you can imagine, there's so many researchers, there's so many faculty members and staff that it can be hard to track, what their specialty is, what they're doing. And so this really distills it down into information that you can use really quickly to connect a journalist to a researcher or a faculty member. And you've seen Discover Research. And so again, this is the idea where you're putting all this information about yourself. What I find really useful about Discover Research is the YouTube links. And oftentimes when I'm pitching to broadcast, as an example, they'll want an example of where the prof has spoken. And when you've got that profile just filled out completely, I can easily find that information and send that to the media outlet to look at. And so when media reaches out, I would encourage you to just let me know because I can often help you navigate that relationship. If you need timing or you need someone to just get those details in essence, then I'm able to help. But if you want to navigate that yourself directly, that's okay too. I'm just here as a resource to support you. And of course, I'm one person, so I can imagine that if 200 faculty members were all to reach me at the same time, it would be a bit challenging. So we'll say that not everyone connects with me, but I would encourage you to. Attracting a media attention. So whenever you have new research, I encourage you to let your the comm teams know 1 to 2 weeks in advance. This gives us some time to chat with each other. So I'm media relations, but I've got the managing editor who helps operate the UTM News webpage. And we often talk with our downtown colleagues. So as a spinoff, if we're covering it on ours, we kind of pitch it to the U of T news story, and it sort of goes out there in the broader ecosystem of our owned channels, is what we call it. Another owned channel of ours is our social media. And so sometimes it may not be a fit for pitching, but we might do it within our internal audiences to share and then share a bit more broadly. And then also, I can help develop a pitch plan. So oftentimes I'm trying to think of an example of where I've developed a pitch plan. There was the Italian studies came out with a lecture series, a donation was given. And so I put together a pitch plan that was very specific to Italian media because I felt that was really the group that we were sort of targeting. And so from my end, I have some tools and resources that I can use to get that information and develop just pitches for Italian media to cover that. And so my ask is when you've got research, this is the 3 things you can do to help. Tell me why people should care. Explain explain your research in plain language, and then share the significance of your work. And sometimes we're so in tune with our academic works, we want to distill that information just as easily to the general public audience. I also bring that lens, so I think there's so much research that we do that sometimes I'm like, this isn't quite a CBC article as an example, but it might be a more scientific channel, and I will help hone in on those channels. And then these are my coordinates. So yes, please feel free.
So when should we contact media? During the initial stage of our research or once the research is complete?
I would say the complete, and only because that's where you're getting the findings, right? That's what the impact. Why should people care about it? It's because this research has discovered XYZ. When you're at the beginning stage, you might want to contact us just to kind of get a feeler of what's happening. And maybe there is an opportunity to explore from the beginning.
So let's just reword my question. So what if a small project is just completed? Should I now contact the media, or should I first transform this into a larger project and then wait for its completion?
It's a good question. If you can provide the details to me, I can help walk you through that. So it might be that, you know, you're sharing something that's really exciting, but I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, well, maybe there's 3 steps down the road where it's that bigger impact. And we want to be judicial about contacting media at the right time. And so sometimes maybe it is that beginning step because you want to get that excitement out there. But I also encourage you to be an expert and be in the Blue Book and Discover Research, because when you're out there in the media talking about your expertise, they're more inclined to cover you when your big research comes out. And I see that with a number of our profs now. And, you know, the downtown campus has so many profs in Discover Research and the Blue Book right now that one of the goals of mine is to elevate our Mississauga faculty. We do such great work, but we just don't tell people enough. And so let's get out there and try to be that voice. We have a lot of experts, and I just really want to be able to put that out at the forefront. When you think of the media landscape and the misinformation and disinformation that's happening, I think more than ever, we need university profs to be out there talking and giving the real facts. And so these are my coordinates. Please feel free to email me, reach out if you have any questions. Again, we're here to support. And yeah, if you have questions, please let me know. Thank you.
Thanks so much, everyone. So everyone